Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Elite Sports Debate podcast. And it's been a while since we did our special season predictions. And I think it's safe to say that a lot's happened. And we're going to be covering, hopefully, all of it.
Ish.
Quite a bit's happened.
Okay.
It's been, I mean, let's see. But yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of it. But yeah, there's been fair. I know what you mean. It's not, but we had Women's World Cup. We've had Ryder Cup picks. We've had Hovland. We've had US Open. We've had England terrible at rugby. We've had Dubois low blow. We've had, UFC. I'm sure we've had something that you can talk about there. So probably I've missed something. Premier League. 3 rounds.
Three. I nearly said 2 then.
Yeah, I nearly said 2 as well. Feels like 2. Yeah,
it does feel like 2. But yeah. So I think we're going to start with the Women's World Cup, aren't we? So
I think so, because that's kind of the first thing dating back as well, which is
it's the biggest thing. I think.
Point. Yeah,
it's the biggest thing, and definitely the first thing that I want to say was I was right. We didn't need to bother watching the early rounds. And we definitely needed to watch the later rounds.
Yeah.
So, and it's just because of the depth of quality around the world. There are 6 to 10 teams that are really good, and the rest are very poor. So, but like ultimately, it's this game was. Women's football was fucking illegal in some countries not too long ago. So yeah, really, really impressed with the England women's team. I thought the final was poor, really.
I think my biggest take from the final is we just didn't turn up. It's as simple as that. We can make excuses all we want. We weren't good enough. We were good during the tournament.
Spain were very good, by the way.
Spain were good, and I mean this not in a bad way, but they were dirty as well, but dirty in an effective way.
They just were streetwise. They knew what to do.
Streetwise, yeah. It's as if they knew what there multiple times before, and we were the victim again, like we usually are. We felt hard done by, and just get over it and try and get the result. So there was definitely a little bit of frustration and a bit of time wasting during the match and stuff like that, which was annoying, but it's what it is. It's a final. You've got to do what it takes to win. So, and ultimately we weren't good enough in the final. But look, we still did well. A lot of people say, "Oh, ultimately we still lost." I disagree with that opinion. You'd rather lose a final than lose in the round of 16. In my opinion, you came second in the world. So I don't think that's to be sniffed at. And as you touched upon, really good for women's sport. Really good for English women's sport. The England women's football team's got a good following now. And here's the thing: it's partly the main reason I follow it now is I know a lot of the players now. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't watch it before. I didn't know anyone. Whereas now, I mean, Mary Earps is brilliant in goal. So, do you know what I mean? You get to learn a few of the players. And I've always supported England regardless. I mean, I turned on the Netball World Cup final the other day and supported England because I support England. So regardless of what they're doing, I like supporting England, especially World Cup finals. So but yeah, no, good for the sport, good for English game, and good for women's football. And look, after the Euros winning it and then the final in the World Cup, fair play to him. The manager is very good. Clearly, she's wanted by the sounds of it.
Trending in the right direction, I would say.
For sure.
The sport is trending in the right direction.
Yeah, why not?
I think it's a bit.
To be honest, with someone like me who's got a daughter, like if she says, "Daddy, I want to play football," she should get the same opportunities as my son saying, "I want to play football." Of course they should. So the opportunity should be the same. So if Arabella wants to play football, I'm going to take her to football. Of course I am. So that's what I mean. It's just nice to be able to. It'd be nice for boys and girls at school to be able to integrate, play football together. Do you know what I mean? I think that there's not enough of that. Obviously, when we were at school, it was literally boys. So it'd be nice if I don't see the reason why boys and girls can't play football together at school. So, and why girls football can't grow even more, to be honest. It's got a long way to go, clearly, but in terms of closing the gap.
Why can't girls just play with girls?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Girls doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, regardless of gender, doesn't matter whether girls play with boys play with girls, boys play with boys, regardless. But it shouldn't be it shouldn't be, I'm a girl, I want to play football, but none of my friends do, and there's nowhere to play football, so I can't play football. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't be like that. If Arabella really wants to play football, then she should have the opportunity to be able to do that. And I think something like this helps with that.
It does, yeah, definitely. It brings eyeballs to the game. The argument around equal pay, I still have major issues with, not because of the fact, not because equal pay isn't is the wrong thing. Pay is deserved based on the revenue you bring in versus the quality of what you produce something. Okay, so let's be, I'm going to be really, 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 and we're in dodgy ground here, but I'm happy to have this opinion. Really,
you're allowed an opinion. You're allowed an opinion,
and like nobody is outraged about female porn stars earning millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. Yeah,
it's true. OnlyFans.
And yeah, and if you look at the disparity between OnlyFans women versus OnlyFans men, it'll be vastly different, okay? Because they bring in amazing amounts of revenue, okay? There would be frigging uproar if all the men on OnlyFans were like, we want equal pay.
Yeah.
And then OnlyFans will just be like, well, you don't bring in the money.
Hang on a minute. Yeah, exactly. You don't create the revenue. Of course, exactly. It's not a gender thing. It's just revenue. It's a revenue point of view. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
As simple as that.
It's slightly different when there's prize money. Okay.
Yeah.
So, for example, if it's the same tournament as in, so Wimbledon is a really easy one because Wimbledon have a men's side and a female side, okay?
And they get paid the same now, don't they?
And they get paid the same, okay? It's really hard to make disparity between the two sides. So therefore, I think it's the right thing to do to make it equal pay, okay? There's arguments against it. There's arguments against it, but there is issue. Yeah, definitely. But like, there are, and then in boxing, for example, 3-minute rounds versus 2-minute rounds for the women. The women only do 2-minute rounds. So but when you have an isolated women's tournament that doesn't have men involved in it, you showed me the revenue incomes from the Women's World Cup versus the Men's World Cup. And then I'm going to tell you what the prize money needs to be from that. It shouldn't be the same as the men shouldn't get the same as the women get because the two tournaments are done at separate times. If they were done at the same time, then it should be the same amount. It should be shared equally. But so that's
I agree. And again, it's not sexist, but there's still cases of the USA women's team against Wrexham. It was like 16-1, things like that. So it's not. I don't think it's unfair for me to say the women's standard of football isn't as good as the men. I think that's a fair thing to say. I think anyone in their right mind knows that if England men's team played the England women's team, we all know what the result would be. That's not me being sexist. It's just factual. But that's football, and that's one example. What I would say, I'm a big horse racing fan. There are some female jockeys, one especially springs to mind, that is as good as the men. It's very rare, and she is a freak of nature, Rachel Blackmore. If I was to have any jockey ride a horse for me at Cheltenham, it would be her. She is, in my opinion, the best jockey.
So let's think about this now. So there's pure biological reasons why a female can't run as quick as someone. So a 100-meter runner, there's clear biological reasons.
Why is the world record slower for women? Simple as that.
Simple as that. Whereas in darts, in horse racing, there shouldn't really be. There's no biological reason why there's any difference.
You need strength, but at the same time, there's a lot of tactics involved as well, and obviously in being a jockey.
Yeah.
But darts is a good example. I think darts, there's absolutely no reason why women can't be as good, and there's not many. But I think that's just opportunity. That's all it is. It's just a lot of. It's fair to say, a lot of women don't grow up and think I want to be a darts player, and hopefully that will change, because why not snooker?
Yeah.
I don't know any lady snooker players. God forbid me, and I'm not a massive snooker fan regardless. But why can't
I've never seen a woman at the Crucible.
Why can't a woman do well at the Crucible? There's absolutely nothing. Do you know what I mean? There's no reason why at all, apart from opportunity. Men, snooker clubs, go up there, play. The dads play maybe. And again, I think you will start to see, as time goes on, more women breaking into the game. You know, Fallon Sherrock was the darts girl she's actually recently got 9 darts and stuff like that, so she's very good. I think you'll start to see more women breaking into men's sport, and I think going forward we might have some sports that might previously have been called the Men's World Championship, now just called the World Championship. Do you know what I mean? So darts is a good one. Should be both. But yeah, interestingly, while we quickly talk about the World Cup, we won't talk about it loads, but because we talked about it before we came on it, I do want to discuss the KISS thing, because it's been unbelievably huge news, and I'm quite mixed on it, because I absolutely don't stand for unconsensual kisses, unconsensual anything in life at all. I just think the way of the world these days in 2023, things blow out of proportion so quickly, and this is blown so out of proportion. Like I said to you earlier, and again, we're not going to be PR if that is. If you don't like it, turn off. There's much worse things happening in the world. People are getting raped, murdered. There's so many awful things happening in this world. He's got a little bit excited and gave her a kiss. I don't condone it. Should he be put in prison for it? No. Should he be castigated for it? No. Should he lose his job for it? Maybe. But he's come out. He said sorry. I think we should just move on. Like, I think people are just using this as a case for, here we go. Here's our opportunity to make a big point of view. It's like, the guy's come out. He said sorry. He's made a mistake. It was 2 seconds of madness. Still dragging on. So the mum's locked herself in a church and she's starving herself. The players
she's in hospital.
She's in hospital now because she's not eating. Like, it's just a knock-on effect. And the other thing I didn't like as well, I saw it yesterday, is there's footage of the team bus after the final. All the ladies, all the girls, the Spanish women are there having a laugh, and they're chanting at the girl, kiss, 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 kiss. And then she's like this, like loving it, milking it, showing everyone the kiss, showing everyone the footage. Absolutely fine with it. They're bantering about it. You got a kiss off the president. And then all of a sudden, the day after, she decides she doesn't like it. So it's just, if she doesn't say anything about it, it gets unnoticed. Because she's come out and said she doesn't like it, the world's basically gone mad. I'm not saying that unconsensual things are cool. I just think it's gone way out of proportion.
I think she can say and feel however she wants to feel. That is absolutely fine. So she can say that she felt pressured into it, it wasn't consensual, etc., etc., etc.
You can also not believe her. You can also call her a liar if you want. My opinion is I'm not sure she's telling the truth.
No, but
that's my opinion. She's clearly on the bus having a laugh and not caring, and then the next day she thinks, oh, if I say I care, maybe I can get something out of it. Maybe I can get him sacked. Maybe I can get some compensation. I don't know.
So then the next thing though is if you said to me, I didn't like what you did there, like, and you go, whoa, okay, right, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I really didn't mean it like that. It was like, I'm sorry for doing it. I can see what you think, but I really didn't mean it like that. I am sorry.
But his approach, or we won't be friends anymore. Just get on with it.
No, but like his approach at the start was, she's a liar. That's what he said to her straight away. Then he was kind of strong-armed into
he's been quite
apologizing. And then he was like, I'm not leaving my job, when everyone was saying that you should leave. Like, I don't believe he should lose his job over it. If he would have approached it in the proper way, and he should have just approached it in a proper way of like, what? I'm really sorry. Like, I am really sorry. I'm really sorry that you feel like that. I didn't feel it like it didn't mean it like this.
Yeah.
You know, sorry. Because what is she gonna what is her aim out of it? If it's to get someone sacked, what a horrible person you are. Like, what a horrible person you are.
She might think, I want to change what the president gone, I want the manager. I don't know, I'm speculating, but
that doesn't change her life, does it?
Do I think deep down, I might be wrong, this is speculation, it's just my opinion, which I'm entitled to. Do I think deep down that she's that bothered about this kiss? Does it haunt her every night? No. I don't think she cares. I just think it's a publicity stunt a little bit. And is the guy in the wrong? Yes, but come on.
I just, but there's you say sorry. You say
gangs out there that have gone unnoticed, and this guy's all over the news for kissing someone. Come on.
You should just. Sometimes you have to say sorry for stuff that you don't really mean to say sorry for.
But you just first say.
Yeah.
And he did make an apology, but it did seem a bit.
Well, it wasn't really an apology, wasn't it?
Yeah, it seemed a bit plastic.
Because, so ultimately he doesn't feel like he's done anything wrong. That's what he else is saying. So so he's actually sorry for nothing. So I understand why she's angry about that. However, it's But anyway,
I mean, some people think he's Lucy Letby. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah. I mean, and by the way, like, I think that we are quite passive about this, and what I mean by passive is we're just kind of like meh about it. We're not anything. We're not anything about it. It's just like I cannot believe that it's still with 2 weeks down the line, and I go on BBC News, and it is the third thing down that she's now in hospital. She's now in hospital. Yeah.
People love a soap opera, and that's what it's become. People love that. People love a gossip.
Yeah.
It's blame. Even people that are hugely against it, I'm against it as well. I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm sure they're loving the soap opera. Do you know what I mean? It's I mean, I'm sure it's hard to argue that this has been blown out of proportion. Of course it has. Of course it has. So.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We'll move on. Just we couldn't not touch on that.
No.
Let's do football while we're on football. Let's do Premier League. There's always stuff to talk about in the Premier League. I don't want to bang on about Brighton, but we obviously went to the game, so I think that's a good place to start. And it was an interesting game. The amount of times we looked at each other.
Yeah. So ultimately. Yeah, so ultimately it was Brighton versus West Ham. I was down south for family celebration. Went to the Brighton game, which is just it's so refreshing that like tickets are so available for a Premier League fixture, and it's like a Premier League ground, and like I really hope that Brighton remains that way, because like as a Liverpool fan, like. Who I'm not a season ticket holder, it is impossible for me to get a ticket, like unless I'm getting them off the black market or I've got a friend who's a season ticket who doesn't fancy going. So, but yeah, so it was really good. My partner's mum is a season ticket holder, so she was there with her sister, and then obviously Johnny was there. So and me and my partner went to the game. It was a good game. I'm obviously very impartial. But I probably want Brighton to win, really, to be honest. But no, I do want Brighton to win, definitely. But I am impartial to it. But it was just so interesting. Like Brighton dominated possession, but chances were 50-50. And I think that's fair. Like I think the chances were.
We dominated everything bar XG, which is really interesting because normally we are XG kings. But basically, what happened was it was a tactics game, really. And look, De Zerbi is amazing, and he deserves all the plaudits he gets. But we need to do something about this getting smashed on the counter because it's happened. The Everton game was identical last year, identical, and it just shows that. And this is no disrespect to West Ham at all. You don't need huge quality to play against us like that. Luton could have done that to us if they wanted to. Everton couldn't be anyone last year. And that result kept them in the league. And they're Everton. So what I'm saying is it's too easy. So we need to find a way. And I believe in my club and I believe in my manager, and I'm sure he will find a way of dealing with that. I don't know what that is. I'm not a football manager. It could be to do with leaving someone back there whenever we attack. It could be pressing with more caution. I don't know, but you can't have 80% of the possession, 25 shots, and lose 3-1 and be 3-0 down. I think so many people not watching will go, wow, West Ham are 3-0 up. What's happened to Brighton? Nothing happened to Brighton. Brighton played well. We just, every time they left the half, they scored. And I'm not using that as I'm not saying, oh, poor us, we were unlucky. They deserve to win, but they deserve to win because they got the tactics right. That's why they deserve to win. They got their tactics spot on. They literally put 10 people inside the penalty area.
Yeah.
Maybe bar 9, and they left Bowen up there, maybe. But 9 people were in that penalty area, and we kept passing round, side to side. Give it to Matoma, see if we can give it to Purvis, cross it in, head it away, and off they go.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, I do agree with some of the shouts. We should be shooting more. Like Gross's goal was from outside the box. Have a few more shots. Do something a bit different.
I think it's the different thing. So if
so predictable.
If you flashback now, Man City against Leicester, Vincent Kompany is running with the ball on the outside of the area. Nobody closes him down because he's not going to shoot.
Never going to shoot.
He's never going to shoot. He's never going to shoot. Bangs it in the top bin. Okay. Leicester didn't close him down because for however many cycles that they've been through this, Man City have done the same thing. They passed it out wide, passed it across, cross in, tap in. Okay, that's Man City's goal. They've done that. They've got that blueprint. Vincent Kompany has a pop shot and it goes in. Okay, I think there had to be times where if you tried it, like Matoma did the same thing every single
and you
time.
notice he cut in every time. And I do like him, of course, but the amount of times I'm saying to him, take it wide, take him on, use your pace. He cuts inside and he maybe crosses it in or he passes backwards again.
His left foot is a bit average, isn't it?
It's very average. Try and beat someone, mate. You've got
one
of the quickest players in the league.
He does try and beat someone, but by doing the same thing, he collects the ball, goes quick, then cuts, goes slow, and then tries to do quick again. It's so predictable. It really is predictable.
Yeah.
And by the way, Kufal was really impressive against him.
Yeah, West Ham defended well. Don't get me wrong, they did. And take no credit away from them. You just shouldn't be able to have that much domination in a match and lose that easily.
Yeah.
And there's other factors. Look, the amount of times we looked at each other 15 times and like, how did that not go in? How did that not go in?
Ariola
had a clean off the line. Ariola had a world-class performance. Ferguson should have scored his header. I mean, there's so many ifs and buts. Webster had a bad game. Could it have been a foul for the first goal? There's a huge amount of ifs and buts. And to play that way, obviously, West Ham need to ride the storm, which they did. But honestly, you could run that game again. It could have been 3-1 us. It was just, the bottom line is, it was one of those days. I'm not moaning about it. I'm not salty about it. It was one of those days. Am I worried? No. I trust my manager. Can we beat Newcastle on Saturday? Yes, we can. Do I think we will?
I was so confident going into that West Ham game.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was blind confidence, but ultimately,
I've said this before, and it seems like it might be the same again. We have been a better side away from home the last 2 years. And that's because we get space and we get space to counter. Wolves was a perfect example. We smashed them to pieces on the counter attack because we had room. When people park against us and they stifle us in space, we have no idea what to do. We can't break people down. And I just worry we're getting a bit predictable. So we're a very good side. Clearly, we're a very good footballing side. And I don't think we should change the DNA because the DNA works 90% of the time because obviously we've been doing really well. I just think there needs to be a plan B, and there wasn't a plan B at all. It was let's keep what we're doing and let's try and break the door down. So, yes, let's move on. But I'm not worried. And, going again Saturday, so I'm hopeful. Let's go on to Newcastle. While it's Newcastle, you need to talk about your boys. In one of the most incredible things I've seen in a while. It was up there. Like Klopp said, it was up there with Barcelona. Like, it was up there. It was up there.
Yeah.
To be dominated that much at a very tough place to go to. Van Dijk got sent off. Arguably Trent should. Will come there. To be dominated that much, Alisson makes a world-class save. Almiron hits the post. Barnes could have squared it to Wilson. They should have been 4-0 up. They should have been out of sight. You somehow keep it at 1-0, and from absolutely nowhere score twice. 2 world-class finishes.
I think I agree with all of it. Just turn the volume down a little bit. Like, I don't think we were completely dominated. I think it was probably 2-0 would have been fair.
You were lucky it was 1-0. You shouldn't have still been in the game.
It should have been 2-0. But that was no fault of ours. That was their fault. Like, they couldn't finish the dinner, and Isak was
Almiron didn't do much wrong. He went on an amazing run and hit the post, but and Alisson's was world class. Barnes should have squared it to Wilson, and that for sure, and that would have been game over. But fair play. Yeah. Look, you hung in there.
And Darwin Núñez
was brilliant. 2 amazing finishes.
Is like like with the going rate of strikers, if that's what you can do as a striker, we've got an absolute bargain. You know, and at 80 million, I can't believe I'm saying that. It's an absolute bargain. The problem is last year he came in at the same year when Erling Haaland came in, who's so far and above the bargain of the century. It's beyond me. What did he pay? 60 million buyout clause.
Yeah, 50,
so take Haaland out of this equation. Darwin Núñez had an average first season, granted, but still showed lots of reasons that Liverpool fans should be excited.
I saw a thing the other day and I couldn't believe it. They said he's got 17 goals and 24 starts. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But that's just gone way under the radar.
Because of Haaland.
Yeah. But I just couldn't believe it. I was like, he's got 17 goals and 24 starts, really?
Yeah. Like, I feel sorry for him because of Haaland coming in. Like, it really has.
He's got to start him. He's got to start him.
I personally, yeah. So yeah. Liverpool and Brighton have both started the season very similarly. Average. We're both happy. Like, Liverpool have had a hard start, really. We've had to play Newcastle away and Chelsea away, and then an easy home fixture. I would have snapped your hand off for 2 wins and a draw at this point. Mm-hmm. Snapped your hand off. So
I'd have taken really 6 points through 3 games.
Yeah, really happy with both of our respective starts. The other teams that we need to mention, unfortunately, it's looking like Sheffield United and Luton are so far below par. Everton are struggling big time.
Wow.
Big time. They are in the mud, and they've basically signed a lad who works at KFC. Like, that is literally 2 years ago he was working at KFC, and now Everton. So this Beto. So and
they got dumped out last night to bloody Doncaster.
Yeah. So
Doncaster was outside.
Do you know what though? Like, I know it would be bad for them to get dumped out, but it wouldn't have been a terrible thing to happen. Like, it just really wouldn't, because they're never going to win that competition. So, like, just focus on the league. Other honourable mentions is City do just look ridiculous again. Be very surprised if we're not talking about maybe like an unbeaten and invincibles kind of situation.
Yeah, it's possible. It nearly happened last year. Possible.
That would be a realistic thing.
I don't see why not. Yeah, I don't see
Man
why
City. And that's Chelsea have made an okay start. Okay.
Arsenal should have won, but they didn't.
Shock defeat. And then the other things to talk about is transfers. So we are recording this on Thursday, the 31st. Transfer window closes tomorrow. And the big news is Chelsea are still finding money. Don't know how. Really don't know how.
And they've gone in for a wonder kid today as well from Brazil, 25 million from Corinthians.
Just crazy.
And what is the point in FFP? What is the point?
What is the point? Like
rip it up. Rip it up.
You've got you've got Everton and Wolves who are saying they've got no money to spend because of FFP. Chelsea finished 10th last year. They've not got any Champions League football, no revenue. Their wage bill will be through the roof, and they're still spending loads of money. Like, it's just crazy. And I think the transfer window has been fair. Harry Kane left.
Yeah.
Harry Kane left. And I think it's proving to be a correct decision.
Yeah, fair play.
The other thing as well is that I love Ange Postecoglou. Love him.
He is one of us.
Like,
I love what he said about FPL. And he's like, I can't play FPL now, which is heartbreaking.
yeah.
So Spurs got dumped out of the Carabao Cup, which isn't a huge surprise to anyone because they don't win trophies.
To let you in on a little secret, Johnson.
What do I mean?
This week we have Premier League, yeah. Yeah.
What's that?
We've got Premier League football this week, yeah.
Yeah.
Then we don't for a week.
Oh, don't. Why do you have to give me news like that?
The England international break.
I hate it.
Hate it.
I hate it.
Hate it. Hate it.
There is good news to that, though. Actually, I didn't have that on my list of things to talk about. I will be watching the England games. Well, actually, if he doesn't come on, then I might switch off. I'm expecting a start. Dunk.
Oh, way.
You know me well. I've been banging the drum like this for years. Donkey for England, donkey for England, donkey for England. So, but we talked about it on a previous pod and how I was like, he got his call up and then he got injured. But I'm really pleased he's recalled him up. So he deserves a chance. I'm not going to get carried away about it. He deserves a chance. He's top draw. He deserves to be in the squad at the very least, and I'd love to see him get a start. Why Maguire is still in there just absolutely baffles me. He's had the balls to drop Sterling, and that's arguable as well after the form he's shown for Chelsea. But have the balls to drop Maguire. You keep telling me that you'll only play players that are playing. He ain't playing.
Mm-hmm.
He's not young anymore. Get rid.
Well, he could be playing.
Get some young blood coming through. It's nice to see Colwell in the squad. Get some young players in there. Try and get some experience out of them. We need some centre-backs coming through because we haven't got many. Colwell could be a massive player for us going forward in the future.
I thought Joe Gomez was going to get a call up,
Yeah. He doesn't play much, does he?
No.
I don't know what he's going to do, whether you're going to keep hold of him, biff him out on loan, you're going to sell him. He needs football, mate. He needs football.
I think he does. Do you know, if you look at it, he does probably play like 30 games a season, but it's just because Liverpool will pay 60 times this year, So
we'll see what happens to Van Dijk as well, by the way. Got charged, didn't he? Is it a 3-game ban? Might be 3 or 4-game ban, something like that. So Gomez might get some minutes. I did think that was a red card, by the way. I don't have any biased opinion, but at the end of the day, I saw the thing he sent me, but I don't know what that's all about, whether that's true or not, because all of the people I talk about and all of the pundits and everything and all of the referee watch is like, yeah, it's a red card. So for me, it's a foul, definitely, and it was a goal scoring opportunity. That's it. Is it harsh? You can argue it's harsh, but that's the rules. The rules are the rules. Is it a foul? Yes. Was it the last man? Yes. Is it what it is? Is it a foul?
Yes.
Was it a goal scoring opportunity? He was clean through, mate. He was clean through. He was clean through on goal. Whether you agree with the rules or not is a different conversation. So it was a foul, and he was the last man.
Let me say the next thing, yeah? Foul, red card, but shouldn't miss another game. It was enough punishment, him missing that game, and us being down to 10 men.
I can understand that.
I just don't see why he's now not able to play the next game.
I can understand that. The ban is warranted because he was an absolute bitch about how he took it, and you shouldn't ever act like that. I know he felt hard done by, but get off the pitch. You know the rules.
Do you know honestly what? Do you know what I honestly thought that I think that he was thinking was, I've been sent off anyway, so I can do what I want. Do you remember Joey Barton when he got sent off and he just started kicking? He just started kicking people.
Yeah. He tried to take someone with him. Yeah.
I'm taking them with me.
He admitted that he tried to give someone a dead leg to try and get them to react. Yeah.
Guerrero. To give him to make him react. So I almost felt that he was thinking, but it came back to bite him in the arse because he's now been done retrospectively. So it's look, I'm not. Well. We won the game.
Won the game. Who cares? Yeah.
Who cares?
And Trent was slightly fortunate. Trent was slightly fortunate as well. I think the fact it was early in the game saved him.
But it's just like throwing the ball away. He didn't really throw the ball away. Every single minute is getting added on anyway. So if he does or doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah, they've tightened the rules up massively, haven't they? They said no dissent, no throwing the ball away, no kicking the ball away. They know they've been told. So. Yeah,
but ultimately it was a foul against him.
He's a bit he's a bit fortunate. It was a foul against him, I do agree. But it's either a foul against him or it's a card throwing the ball away.
The reason why I think he threw the ball where he did was so that it gave him time to get up and get back in position.
Probably, now, but you can't buy time by throwing the ball or kicking the ball away anymore. Not allowed.
Well, the game
it's a bit of a grey area
until I'm ready.
You could just hold it. Yeah, but you could just hold it. You probably wouldn't have got booked if you just held the ball.
Yeah, and so. But look, it's we're ultimately if he would have got a red card, missed that game, and then missed another game because of so he would have missed 170 minutes of football for the basis for those two offences.
Yeah.
Go fuck off. Sorry.
Do you want to know one that was worse? Tommy Yasu's was harsher than that. Trent's would have been more warranted. Tommy Yasu's is literally they were taking a while. They threw the ball to Tommy Yasu. He took 5 seconds. He got booked for time wasting. Yeah. And then there was a tiny touch on the guy, and he got sent off. So look, it would have been soft, yes, but Tommy Yasu's was softer. So he got away with them, put it that way. And look, if you had 9 men on the pitch, then it might have been a different result. Newcastle fans would say. But no, fair play. Good. Anything else on Prem?
No. Move on.
The only thing I want to say on transfers is we're signing Ansu Fati on loan, and I can't believe I just said that.
I will believe it when I see it.
He's there. He's done, mate. He's at the Amex. It's done.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Amex, mate. He's done. He's having his medical now. He might have even done his medical. It's done. Private plane into Brighton. We picked him up. He's at the Amex. It's done.
I'll believe it when I see it.
It's madness. It's like Football Manager in real life. It is madness. I'm a bit gutted. There's no buy clause. There's no well, there is a release clause. It's £1 billion. Have you seen that? He's got a £1 billion euro release clause. I've got a feeling we're probably not going to pay that. Just a feeling. But yeah, I was a bit gutted that there wasn't like a 40 million buy option. But we'll see.
It's because Barcelona are playing the 16-year-old Yamil and
registration issues or something, isn't it?
No, Yamil. They're playing a 16-year-old instead.
Yeah.
Who got man of the match? Who got man of the match against Villarreal at the weekend? He got 2 assists, and he's 16 and 40 days. 16 and 40 days. Man. 16. I thought I was a Power Ranger.
Man.
I thought I was a Power Ranger. At 16 years old, I thought I was a Power Ranger.
It's madness. But what I would say, it shows you the impact that managers have, not only on the club, not only on the results, but on... Mate, he would not be going there if it was De Zerbi. It's come out. It said it. De Zerbi was the reason he's gone there. And it's not just De Zerbi. I'm not blowing the trumpet. Mourinho is a perfect example at Roma. Lukaku doesn't go to Roma. Love him or hate him, Lukaku doesn't go to Roma without Jose. No chance. Dybala doesn't go to Roma without Jose. No chance. So having a manager that people want to play for can attract you some players, which is really handy. Because I love Chris Hughton, but if Chris Hughton was still there, we ain't signing Ansu Fati.
No.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to go to the Amex and watch him play, and I hope he's. Look, people were saying he was the next prodigy, weren't they? Hence the 1 billion release clause, etc., etc. So we are paying a sneaky amount of money for him. By the way, have you seen that? He's on 200 grand a week at 200. It's either 200 pounds, 200,000 pounds, or 200,000 euros a week. Let's call it euros. We're paying 80%, so we're going to be paying roughly 150,000 pounds a week wages to have him on loan.
That's destroyed your wage structure.
That will be our highest paid player. Yeah, he'll be our highest paid player. But look, by all accounts, De Zerbi loves him. And when I say loves him, this is like capital L, has him on the wall, kind of loves him. Apparently, do you know what I mean?
Key ring.
Apparently is obsessed with Ansu Fati. So when he came available, apparently he said to Tony, any chance? And Tony was like, okay, let's see. But apparently, De Zerbi absolutely adores him. He's told him on the phone how much he adores him, and he's won him over. Am I excited? Am I happy as a Brighton fan? Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be? It's just so nice that we can attract that kind of player rather than attracting. Baleba looks like he's a good talent, but he's a 19-year-old. Rather than attracting people I've never heard of, it's actually nice to attract a household name.
It's are you going to get? Oh my god!
I know. I thought about it. Fatty. It's perfect, isn't it? Isn't it just perfect?
Gotta get it. You've got to get it on your back.
Fatty.
Please get that on your back. Please get that on your back.
So I do FATI or FATY? FATTY. I know. Fatty 69.
Got Fatty.
Oh, I know. A Fatty. Yeah. Oh, it's perfect. A Fatty. Oh. I honestly, genuinely, I thought about that earlier because I thought, should I get him on the back of the shirt? Oh, I better not because he's only on loan. Oh, but he's called Fatty, and how appropriate. I did think about that. Anyway, that's exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play. I just hope he's. It's just interesting that we've not blown. Yeah, maybe blown, but I'd be staggered if he's not our highest paid player on. Talked to you about this loads before on 150. I was under the impression, and I'm pretty confident our highest paid player is on 100. So
I think it is 100. Yeah,
no one's on 150 at Brighton. I'm confident of that. So he'll be our highest paid player. Will that upset Brighton? I don't think so. I think the squad is tight. So I don't think anyone will have their nose out of joint.
Who else demands it? Who else demands it?
Exactly. Dunk will be happy. He's the captain. We've got a very good player. So I don't think anyone will be like, oh, he's on a lot. It's a year loan as well. So it's not as if we haven't blown the budget for the next 6 years. We've blown it slightly for a loan player. But at the same time, we've got 115 million for Caicedo. We're paying 100. We're not paying a loan fee. We're just paying 150 grand a week, which in the grand scheme of things is going to cost us about 7 or 8 million quid.
Yeah.
For a year.
Well,
for 115 for Caicedo.
You could make that. I'm
not saying he will. Sales. If he wins us the Europa League or he boots us into the Champions League, I'm not saying he will. But if he does, that 7 million is going to look like a bust.
Well, it just brings up the profile, doesn't it, of the team?
It's a punt. I think it's a body. It's a punt.
I think it would have been great if you could have got our 30 million option to buy.
Oh, I agree.
And then I just think that then you're sat in a position where you can go. We've paid all these wages.
Him and he loves us. Yeah.
And then
we should have done the same thing. We should have done the same thing with Colwell. Colwell loved us. We loved him. We bid 30. They said no because there wasn't a buy option. So, yeah, good. Okay, I'll stop talking about Brian now.
I think boxing is the next thing.
Boxing. We need to do a bit of boxing, bit of golf. Actually, really quickly football because then we can just completely leave it alone. Champions League draw. Newcastle got an unbelievably tough draw.
Can't say
PSG,
I'm not disappointed.
Yeah, I don't care either. What I would say, if I was a Newcastle fan, and I know one pretty well, they're incredible away days. Wowee.
Do you know what? Newcastle have got to be happy with it.
Unbelievable away days. San Siro, Dortmund, PSG. wow.
Yeah.
What away days. And their home atmosphere, because they're going to be such big games, are going to be amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. Just a quick one as well, as Brighton's draw is tomorrow and Liverpool's draw is tomorrow.
12 o'clock.
Pots what?
12 o'clock.
Do you know which pot you're in? Yeah.
Good question. We're 2 or 3. I haven't checked. My assumption is 3.
Okay. Obviously, Liverpool is 1.
Yeah.
So, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I need to check on that. I know we're 2 or 3, but I don't know if it gets confirmed till the day or not. I don't know, but we're 2 or 3. There's a few clubs we could get in pot 1: Leverkusen, Atlanta, Villarreal. I can't remember anyone else, but yeah, there's going to be a big tie there for us. So look forward to it. Look forward to going through it and thinking what away day I fancy.
Right, perfect. Do you want to do golf? And then we'll do boxing.
Just quickly, I don't need to say too much. Hovland won the cake at the big pot at the FedEx. He deserved it. He was brilliant. He won the event the week before as well. No complaints. I will quickly mention that I don't love the format. I can't remember if I mentioned to you this before. I mentioned to the other boys.
We were talking about it at golf.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love the fact that arguably Scheffler can win every single event all season and then start with a 2-shot lead, have a bad round, and then he comes 20th. So I don't like how much there is to play for on the last. I get it. They want the winner of the FedEx to be the winner of the last event of the season, but there must be a better way of doing it. Morikawa's had a very average season, and he was bang there. There's players that were roughly in the mix. Xander hasn't had an amazing season, and he nearly won it. So there's a better way of doing it. I can understand why they've done it, but I think the leaders should have more of a lead. Give Scheffler a 5-shot lead. Mm-hmm. Go 15 Scheffler, 11 Hovland, 8 Schauffele, 6 McIlroy. Put people over par. If you're 30th in the order of merit, start +5.
Yeah.
Scheffler should have a massive lead because he deserves it. So I don't know. There's just a quick one, but I don't love what they've done with the format there. But fair play to Hovland. Nice to have a European doing well, and he's clearly the real deal. He can clearly close. People were doubting whether he could close or not, but clearly he can. And he is a major waiting to happen, and it could be next year. Ryder Cup picks, ours are happening on Monday. The last qualifier is this week. We are as well 6 picks, which by the way I hate. I don't think it should be 6 and 6. I think it should be 8 and 4 and 9 and 3. I think 6 and 6 is a joke. I think if you come 7th and then don't get picked, you've been absolutely shafted. I think it should be more on merit. I think 6 and 6 is ridiculous. I think it used to be 10 and 2, and I don't think it should be 10 and 2. But I'd probably have it 8 and 4. I think 8 and 4 is.
I think 8 and 4, but I didn't like when it was different for the two teams, and what I mean by that was it was different for the US as it was for. I
agree, because if you're making your own rules, well, why don't you just say 12 captains picks then?
Yeah, and
I'm just gonna pick my team. Yeah.
Yeah, and just sod off the whole registration thing. Yeah. And just
if I make the rules, if we make our own rules of what team we want, well, I'll just pick it then.
Yeah.
So
because
it should be more on merit. It should be more on merit.
You're not going to go out with any. You're not going to go for anyone who's not in the top 6 anyway. So
possibly, but would Brian Harman have got picked? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm not knocking him. He was amazing at the Open. He's done nothing else all year. He's played very well on a links golf course. He's done nothing else all year. He has. He's played very well on a golf course that's completely dissimilar, and he's got automatic.
Yeah.
Would he have been in the picks? I don't think he would.
Be interesting to see how much he gets played. I mean, obviously, you would have thought that you'd play him in a foursomes.
Yes.
He's foursomes.
He's a plodder.
He's a very exciting foursomes player,
Absolutely.
But he is possibly one of the worst 4-ball players.
Yeah, I agree. Would you not have picked Bryson for 4-ball?
Have you seen the course?
Yeah, tight, roughs up, 3 yards off the fairways, thick rough.
The I watched a video, a YouTuber, which one was it? Did around there, and it was outrageous. It was outrageous.
I follow Simon Dyson, and I don't know him well, but I've spoken to him quite a few times when he's done a couple of programs abroad that I've done, and I've got chatting to him. He's a really, really nice guy, but he has played it. He played it last week, and he did a little bit of a review in it, and he literally walked 4 yards from the fairway, and he was in the thick rough, and you couldn't see your golf ball. So he was there, and he was saying how great the last 3 holes are going to be and stuff like that, but the rough is up. And I get that, Bryson, the rough's up, but 4-ball, he just shot 58, mate, and he's not getting picked for the team. People go, "Oh, Liv," but Brooks got picked. I wouldn't have picked JT because he has had a terrible season.
Just a quick one on Brooks. Was Brooks a pick or was he an auto?
Pick. He just missed out. He was 7th. I think they felt obliged.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You can't say to me it's Liv. It's about Liv when Brooks got picked because Brooks Liv.
Yeah, I agree.
So, where's DJ?
Their team is so strong. It's ridiculous.
DJ's not. I put it this way: I would be playing. There's no Cam Young, great golfer. There's no DJ. There's no Bryson. Keegan Bradley has had a brilliant season. Apparently, there's a bit of controversy. A few weeks ago on a podcast, Fred Couples, who's the vice captain, came out and said Keegan Bradley will definitely be in the team, and he didn't get picked. So he's like, so put it this way, I wouldn't have picked JT because his form has been awful, and I probably wouldn't have picked Sam Burns. He's a good golfer, but I wouldn't have picked him. It would have been 2 of Cam Young, Bryson, DJ, or Keegan. I probably would have picked DJ. DJ still plays some very good golf, mate. He's won 3-4 times on Liv. He's still an incredibly good golfer, incredibly experienced. So I would have definitely picked DJ and probably Bryson for 4-ball. Cam Young I love as well. He's a top player, Cam Young is as well. So I just think there's a few that can count themselves a little bit unlucky there. I was surprised to see Burns. I don't mind the other picks. Some of them are shoe-ins, Morikawa and play people like that. I think Speed's fine with his experience. Fowler's okay. He showed a good form as well. So I would have picked JT and I would have picked Burns.
You do know that JT and Speed are going to play though, like.
Yeah, but Bradley's had an amazing season, a much better season than JT, and he's right to feel hard done by. Like JT, you're picking JT based on the name, but why aren't you picking DJ based on the name then?
Yeah, I think there's a natural partner though, isn't there, for JT?
Yeah, but you want someone that's playing good golf, and he's playing not even average golf. He's playing terrible golf.
He should have picked Bryson and stuck him with.
He's been sat on the. I think he's missed three major cuts this year. He sat on the sofa for the weekend of the 3 majors this year, and he's in the Ryder Cup. So I semi get it. I wouldn't have picked him. No chance. You got to do more than that to get in my team, buddy. You've got to do much more than that to get in my team. And that's it. Something to look forward to. Like I said, our picks coming up Monday. Our picks are going to be ropey as hell. There's going to be a hell of a lot of newcomers. But I think we have a chance. And the reason I think we have a chance is home advantage is massive. I tell this to everyone. People don't understand it. It's massive. There's only been one Ryder Cup won away from home since 2004. And that event is described as a miracle. Okay? Home advantage is massive. Okay? Yeah. So people underestimate that. Just home Ryder Cups always happen. So America have got a better team on paper. Home advantage is massive. Doubles, we have a massive chance. McIlroy, Rahm, Hovland, Fitzpatrick, Tyrrell, Fleetwood. Our top end is class. I would back Hovland and McIlroy to beat anyone.
Do you think there's going to be just a quick one as well? I think we probably need to do a Ryder Cup special, really. Forward as well.
Yeah, I agree.
So we will. I think that there's a very good chance that there's going to be probably 2, if not 3 players who don't play a minute until the singles.
Oh, absolutely. We'll have 3 or 4, I think. We'll have 3 or 4. We have to play our core 6, I think. But I feel like we've got a core 6.
So
I would say
you've got
McIlroy, Rahm, Hovland, and the 3 English boys: Fitzpatrick, Fleetwood, Hatton.
Okay, yeah.
There's your 6. The rest,
and then
pick. McIntyre downwards could be anyone.
Who is it? Like, seriously, who is it?
Mate, some of the people, take me ages to dig it out. Some of the people I saw: Adrian Ategi, Yannick Paul, possibly Peters, but we're not picking Liv. So that rules out Casey, Garcia, Peters, because I think we're anti-Liv.
Are we not picking them?
I don't think so. Adrian Moron.
Why?
I just think that's the policy. I think Stenson went to Liv and we took him off captaincy, so it'd be a bit backwards for us then to pick Liv. But I understand what you're saying. Why? Because our team is worse without them. Casey would be in that side if he wasn't Liv. He's one of our top 12 golfers. There's no question about that. Would I have Garcia over Adrian Moronk? Yes, because of his experience.
Would you have Westwood? Yes.
Maybe.
Would you have Poulter?
Maybe.
Yes.
Bring back the old boys. Yeah. So, look, if we put out Hovland and McIlroy, Rahm and Hatton, and Fitzpatrick and Fleetwood, let's say, we could win 3-1. Of course we can.
Mm-hmm.
My prediction is we are ahead. My biggest prediction, I'm not going to give you the result. My huge prediction is we will be ahead after the doubles coming into Sunday. I'll be very surprised if we're not ahead coming into Sunday. Very surprised.
Wow.
Very surprised. We may get done Sunday because bottom end matches are going to be Morikawa versus Moronk and Spieth versus Yannick Paul. So we're going to be desperate for your McIlroys and Rahms. They're going to have to win. And if one of them gets turned over, then we're like, okay.
And they've got to win, and they're going to be up against singles.
Yeah. Our issue is depth. That's our issue.
Yeah.
But we can do a pod on it. It's very interesting, and it's obviously going to gain traction. But I think, golf wise, that's about it. Really, it's all Rose Leader Ryder Cup now. Anyway, Fellas Cup season's over. It's going to be interesting to see our picks on Monday. But I think we'll be ahead in the doubles, and we may get turned over late. But if you're a betting man, by the way, back Europe, because I might be wrong, but my opinion would be back Europe because I think they will shorten in price, and I think you could lay it or cash out or free roll it coming into Sunday, personally. Okay, boxing.
So Daniel Dubois.
We had a slight disagreement / discussion about this. I'm not a boxing expert, but I think Usyk got away with one there.
For Usyk, for the Unified World Championship belts, multiple. And he in the 5th round, obviously Daniel Dubois was getting served his anus.
The gulf between the two fighters is staggering.
And then Daniel Dubois landed a shot, and his game plan was to land a shot, and he landed a shot that was
to the
deemed illegal
on the belt line.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Golf.
Here we go.
Golf.
This is proper chessism, this is. I love these.
Golf.
I love how you just completely change the subject. It's class.
All is on the line for OB. What is it?
Oh, God, you're testing me now. I've seen this question come up. I saw this on Golf Digest the other day. It's OB.
It's OB. If you football, the ball's on the line, is it a goal or not a goal?
No.
No goal, yeah? Boxing, if you hit the belt line, it's a low blow.
But isn't it under the belt line?
His fist is bigger than the line. So therefore, some of it was under and some of it was over.
Some of it was over, exactly. That's why it's borderline.
But some of it was under.
Some of it was over.
The referee called it.
Glass half empty, glass half full.
And the referee called it. End of.
It was borderline.
If he was that convincingly going to win, then throw it again 2 inches higher, and you've got the guy.
Yeah. He milked the shit out of it though.
Oh. And he had every right to. He had 2 more minutes to milk if he wanted to.
Do you think he'd have got up if he had to? Yeah,
he would have done. He could have danced his way around that next 2.5 minutes.
I'm not saying Dubois deserved to win, and I'm not saying Dubois is a better fighter. Could the referee have let that go? Yes. Could he not have get up after 10 seconds? Yes. Is there some question marks surrounding that? Yes. Is there enough uncertainty to have a rematch? We'll see. The bird. I know what you said about it. There's not enough money in it, and I can understand that.
So yeah, just for the listeners, the way that these governing bodies make money is by commissioning costs for putting a fight on. So a fight has got a pot of money, and for it being a world title shot, they will charge 3% of the pot. Okay, so the whole pot is 100 million. They'll get 3 million of that. Okay. Now, some world title fights like Usyk versus Daniel Dubois, it's in Poland, it's in the stadium, it's in blah, la, 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 la. Yeah. There are, the pot is 50 million. Okay. Daniel Dubois is getting 5, Usyk's getting 45. Okay. But you need to take 3% out of it for each of the governing bodies first, okay? Now, the governing bodies decide whether there is a need for a rematch, okay? No one else decides it. The governing bodies do. Okay?
He's appealed, hasn't he? Frank Warren's appealed. Now, I don't know.
Of course he has, because there's no harm in doing
Eddie Hearn would appeal.
Everyone
that's
would.
What you'd do. Yeah.
Now, the landscape of the heavyweight division is that they are waiting for the winter for the big offers from Saudi to come, okay? Now, because basically it's too hot to do it now, so therefore it's in winter when it's going to happen. That's why Fury is fighting Ngannou in winter, which isn't winter, it's not winter as we know it, it's just cooler, okay? Now, in the February time, they are still talking about the biggest heavyweight day of ever, which is Joshua versus Wilder, followed by Fury versus Usyk.
That'd be unreal if it's on the same card.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god.
Okay, it won't happen, but I'm just saying.
I would love it to happen.
Of course.
Why can't it happen?
I know. Why can't it?
Because there's money there. There's interest. Because the money's my god.
Yeah, of course there would be.
The demand's there.
Do you know what would cock that up? A rematch. Okay?
Yeah, I understand that.
So a rematch. So that pot that we just talked about then for that fight would be worth 500 million. Do you reckon?
Yeah.
For those two fights.
Oh,
yeah.
At least.
And those governing bodies are getting 3%. Okay, of that pot. Do you really think that they're gonna pass up the opportunity for that by ordering a rematch that was a borderline decision? No way. So therefore, that's why the borderline decision won't get turned over. If it was the other way round, then it would get turned over. I guarantee it would get turned over, and they'd be fighting. They'd be fighting in 3 months' time, okay, to get it done out the way so that Usyk's ready. He was in control of that fight at every single moment, okay.
Yeah.
It was a borderline low blow.
Yeah.
He was not on his cough, okay? It hurt him.
Yeah, when it was like hitting you in the balls. Like, he didn't hit you in the balls, mate.
It hurt him, but and he took advantage of the rules, okay?
Yeah.
Full stop, end of story.
2 things I want to say. 1, Daniel Dubois is not an elite fighter, clearly. 2, something that nowhere near enough people have made out, and I have a fairly strong opinion about this, he quit again.
Mm-hmm.
He's quit twice. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not sitting here on my bed and saying boxing's easy. It's not. Am I going to say that I wouldn't quit? I probably would quit. But you're a boxer. you're meant to not do that, but you're meant to go out dead rather than quit. That's the given. Belly would rather be carried off in a stretcher than quit. Yeah. So he quit. You can't argue that he quit. He knew what he was doing, and he kneeled for 10 seconds. And he did exactly the same thing against Joe Joyce.
Mm-hmm. He got up at 10. At 10. And it was like,
but then he didn't. He didn't go. Oh, why did you called it? Did he? He could have got up at 9 if he wanted. So he's quit again. It's just something that, because of the attention was on the low blow, not enough attention has been given to the fact that he's quit twice.
Boxing is about hitting without getting hit. Yeah, definitely. That's the he Mayweather. Hasn't been hit enough in his career to feel uncomfortable when getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's arguments to say Joshua doesn't like being hit as well, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas there's other people, Ricky Hatton,
Fury,
for example.
Fury gets hit really well.
Yeah, Ricky Hatton, everyone. By the way, Ricky Hatton documentary on Sky, GOAT level status.
Yeah,
I mean, he's the reason why I follow boxing. Ricky Hatton,
Hatton Mayweather was my first wow moment.
Yeah, and it was and it was the event, and absolutely love Ricky Hatton as a fighter, as a he's had his troubles, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but there's boxing. UFC.
Eubank Smith, really quickly. Do you think it's going to be the same result?
Really close by. The first one was really good. The second one could be. Do you know what? Would be really, really, really good if it was a great fight and Eubank won a trilogy. Yeah. That's the best outcome.
I could see that happening.
That's
because
people
forget
outcome.
Like Eubank's not like he's not a mug. He's not a mug. Smith deserved the first fight, but he ain't a mug. So let's not forget that.
Smith was a great fighter.
Smith was about 5-1 for that fight. Let's not forget that. So
Smith's a great fighter.
Yeah.
So
it's an interesting one though. There's a bit of niggle there and stuff. So it's a definite interesting fight. They're both very good. So yeah.
We'll and lastly, UFC. So it is
fairly quiet at the
moment. Fairly. Sugar Sean O'Malley won the bantamweight, which is a big kind of statement, really.
Where was Sterling? Aljamain Sterling, was that 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago.
Was that Sean O'Malley card or not? Was that a different card?
It was
Sterling was the week before, possibly.
Yes, maybe. But ultimately, O'Malley is a great fighter. He's an elite striker, and him being world champion is great for the UFC because he sells a lot of tickets. So that's good. This weekend, Cyril Gane, Pavlovich. It's in Paris at a good time. Heavyweights, get on it.
Nice.
We will.
Spivak, Sergey Spivak.
Spivak. Sorry, yeah. So be a really good fight. It's going to be a close one. I would imagine that Cyril Gane is favourite, but he's coming off a bad defeat to John Jones. My head is saying, I don't know what my head is saying. I think it's a 50-50 fight, and if you can get Spivak for more than 50-50, you probably should back him, really.
Spivak's 2.5 and Cyril is 1.6. 2.58 Spivak.
Yeah, I think that's the value. The value is in that. It's just obviously that it's in Paris as well. That's a big thing. So obviously there. But yeah, look, done.
Your boy Israel was back soon.
Easy
Sunday.
Baby.
He's back.
Baby.
And then, not that long until Makachev Oliveira. That'd be good.
No, that's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I still think it's a bit dodgy that that card is a joke, by the way.
Really?
That card is a really joke. That I think Charlie Olives might not make weight. I feel like something might happen with that fight. But yeah, perfect.
Good, sweet. All right, that's us.
It's been a while. We both have been on holiday-ish, haven't we? We obviously, it's going to come into the international break. We have a blanket ban on talking about international football outside of a tournament, so we won't be talking about that.
Unless Dan scores a header, and I'll be talking about it the whole pod.
So we won't be talking about international football.
Correct.
Yeah, I think obviously we definitely want to do a Ryder Cup special, so we'll probably fit one more in between now and Ryder Cup special, and we'll go from there.
Good. Thanks very much for listening. As always, please follow us on the usuals, Insta, on the YouTube page. Please support us. We enjoy it, so hope you enjoy listening as much as we enjoy doing it. And lots to look forward to, and hopefully Brighton win, unlike they did last Saturday. And that's it. See you next time. Much love.
Peace out. Bye.